Hello, Cancers. All right, Cancers. Let's see what this week looks like for you in terms of relationships of all kind. That's right. Let's keep the momentum going. Cancers. Talking to you wherever Cancer is in your birth chart. Let's see what's in your cards, Cancers. Let's see what's in your cards. Let's see what's in your cards. All right. So we're still in a cycle, Cancer. This reading is for the 28th through the 4th of November. So the 28th of October through the 4th of November. Let's see what your cards, your in terms of relationships. Let's see if you are still balanced out. We started out this cycle in Libra. A moon in Libra. Libra is all about fairness, balance, peace, relationship. We're not talking about a person who's a Libra. We're talking about the Zodiac Sign Libra, right? Make sure you're still at peace with you yourself, and good relationship with you, right? Balanced out. So peace with your decisions and moving forward. So let's get into it. Let's get into it, Cancers. Let's go. First card out of the deck. All right. So somebody tossed some things into a burning bowl. 8 of Cups, 7 of Swords. Here we have the 10 of Swords. Here we have the 8 of Swords. Here we also have the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. Okay. Here we have the 8 of Cups. So you're tossing some things into a burning bowl. You're no longer your head and heart are no longer at war with each other when it comes to your emotions. Something having to do with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Somebody who may have kept you in a state of confusion, burned you, or burned someone that you love. Something who may have just kind of sort of just kept you in a state. It could have been for years. Could have kept you in confusion. Their moon sign could be a fire sign, or their sun or moon sign could be a fire sign. I'm saying that because water has an affinity with the moon, and then we see this sun right here. So this sun or moon could be a fire energy, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But Source is saying to you, what really exposed something is when you moved on from something, like when you stopped talking to somebody or you stopped thinking about somebody, like you took your water somewhere else. So somebody could have geographically like moved from one job to another. Even if you moved to a different department, if you worked in a company, an organization, and you moved to a different department, that could have exposed something, right? Sometimes you can't see it because you're too close to it. As soon as you move your physical body possibly to another department, to another neighborhood, city, state, town, country, province, continent, whatever, that's when you start seeing the cracks in a foundation, right? So Source is saying somebody moved on from something and started thriving. Something you were not expect to do. People did not expect for you to thrive the way that you're thriving. Something has come to a point where you're starting to see how restricted you felt when you were around energies while you were talking to people. Something about possibly their inflections in their voice talking to you. You didn't even realize people were putting dark magic or dark spells on you by the way they talked to you, who they were talking to through you, their actions, their energy around you, the looks that they were giving you. People don't even realize how people use dark magic on people, right? So, and how it comes across, how people may not be able to do things directly to you, but do things to people that you love to make you look like you have an anger issue problem. So be very careful with that, Cancer. Be very careful with that, because if a person can't do something to you directly, they may do something to your spouse, your kids. There's something, like the saying, like throw a rock and hide their hands. Do something to make you angry. So if you react, it makes you look like you've done something after they, makes you look like the dark entity, like you've said or you've done something when it was really their energy that started something. So Source is saying be very careful with that. So you're learning. So you've manifested something new, like something of value within yourself, because now you have valuable information. Now you know. So let's say you are and then they play the mind games. To try to, like the reverse psychology, to try to win something, right? But really, who really won? Like really, really who won. There's always somebody in the middle who is hurt by all of it, right? And I know that because of this lining of this mirror here. This is a portal. There's always something in the middle, right? So let's say you have kids with someone, right? And let's say you see the good in them, but all they see when they look at you is the darkness in you, Cancer. You can even be an educator, right? You can be an educator. Let's say you have students and you see the best in your students. You know, there's a lot of educators that absolutely love teaching, right? And so as soon as the kids go home and tell their parents, oh my God, I love Miss or Mr. So-and-so, whatever your name is, and they go home, they're so excited about learning. Sometimes, unfortunately, if some of the parents didn't have the same experience, they get mad at the teacher. Like the teacher just like doing their job. Like they absolutely love what they're doing. They love teaching. They love, they love their jobs, right? And so all they can see is the darkness in you. That's all they can see is the darkness in you. Sometimes that happens when you have co-parenting. Sometimes that happens when you're dating somebody and they come home and they have had some kind of mind control over their loved one, and so here they bring a new love interest into their life. They're so happy about a new love interest, and they want to automatically say dark, sarcastic mess about basically the product of your intelligent decision. They play all kinds of mind games, right? So source is saying sometimes you don't even realize you've been under mind control for so long until you physically pull out that sword. This is sword energy right here, and cut ties, whether it's a job that moved you away from something, whether, job could be moving to a different department. So you're not under the leadership of that manager anymore. Hearing all this negativity in the department, the snide, sarcastic comments. Then you see the real cracks in the foundation, like, wow, being under this management, this is a person who inspires you. They see the goodness in you. They see the light in you, the potential, all of that. You feel like you can fly. You can thrive in that department. Geographical location, you feel like you can thrive in that department. The cracks are when somehow through the air, Cancer, you get wind of air, wind. You get wind of somebody through somebody else, how people really feel about you, but it's a projection. They basically are trying to say you said about somebody the same thing that they said about you. So at some point, somebody has to, because you're a cardinal sign, cardinal signs are initiators. At some point, somebody has to make an executive decision to detach. So the energy that's immaturely playing mind games believe that they have won something, and they haven't won anything, right? Because that's going to backfire on them. You don't have to worry about that. They haven't won anything, Cancer. Because the goal was to get you back. That was the goal. Somehow entangle you into making you feel like you're the dark entity to their light, right? So you got good news coming across your path because you stopped talking to them. It's going to backfire. That's the good news. The good news is not that you wanted anything to backfire. You have good news coming across your path in another form. The good news is that you woke up out of a trance that you didn't even realize you were in, Cancer. That's the good news. So it sends all of that spell work back. It sends all of that spell work back. Because guess what? You're still thriving. You're still thriving. They still have to look in the mirror at themselves, because they can't look at you. They can't talk to you. They have to look at the darkness that they see in themselves in the mirror. They're forced to do the shadow work. You're thriving. They can't take that away from you. You're still thriving. But they are now forced to do the shadow work. And guess what? New money is coming across your path. So you're winning because new valuable information and what I just shared with you just came across your path, and new money is coming across your path because you're not bogged down or weighed down with overthinking this. You don't need to overthink this. Open up the books this week, get into continuing to better yourselves, because you just sent back spell work and didn't even realize what you were sending back just by stopping the cutting communication. There's nothing else to talk about. Anybody that is connected to anybody who only sees you as a dark entity needs to be cut off. We are in human form. If they cannot extend grace to you as you've extended grace to them, that's a distraction. So you thriving after you left energies behind is a problem for them. That's a problem for them, not you. So yeah, some energies are faced to do. They're forced to do the shadow work. They're forced to do the shadow work. Yeah, they're forced to do the shadow work. They're forced to meticulously look at themselves, like really just go into hermit mode and really look. They got to go back in their crab shell, their hermit crab shell. They have to do the work. They have to. There's no choice. They're going to have to stop talking negatively about people when they're disappointed. Because for you, your head and heart were at war with each other as far as they were concerned. Whoever this energy is, Cancer, whoever it is, it could be tied to a whole lot of people, but your heart was in the right place towards them. It's forcing them. It's like I did a video for you all, Cancer, a while ago, and we're talking about relationships. We're still talking about relationships and you being at peace with your decisions to move on from some energies. Right? So some people know that you all have a good heart. That's why I speak to everybody's highest frequency on my channel. Everybody. Whether people say, "Oh, you don't know my ex. My ex was the devil." You're right. I don't know your ex. I don't know your ex. But I don't demonize people. I don't demonize people on my channel. I'm not anybody's God. We are not anybody's gods. We're not supposed to be idolizing people. That's the problem. Source is saying to you here, toss fear, doubt, uncertainty, all that mess into a burning bowl. Just release it in love. It's cleansing by fire. Cleanse by fire, because you got good news. That's what you're making room for. You got good news coming across your path in terms of something that you've been trying to learn. It has nothing really to do about them. You've been praying for them, but your head and heart has been at war as far as they're concerned. So if you had an opportunity, if they saw some kind of darkness and you, all they saw was darkness in you because of what they heard about you, because you're thriving, there was something that they listened to about you. Something that they heard about you, Cancer, that they believe. But there's belief and disbelief also. We talked about that. Whether they believed it or didn't believe it, they listened to it, right? They chose not to spend any time with you. This is with the Ace of Pentacles here. They chose not to spend time building a relationship with you, whoever it is. Whether it was somebody's sister, brother, mom, dad, potential love interest, your own kids, your students, somebody's father. It doesn't really, a human, right? Whatever. Somebody listened to darkness about you and got their own heart broken because you're not with that. Like you just said, "Oh, you believe that? Okay, all right." It forced them back into a hermit shell to look at, re-examine themselves, because you looked at something objectively. You stepped outside of it looking at it something objectively and said, "It's time for you to move on from that." Somebody's tired of just people talking darkness. So you're sitting on your throne, King of Swords here. Very wise. You had to make a wise decision about something. So good for you. You made a wise decision to stop invoking the nightmare. 9 and 8 of Swords connects us to communication, going outward communication. So you had to stop talking to certain energies because we're always in sending and receiving mode. So even if a person does not return the communication the same way you sent it out, you may have said something to a person. Receiving could also be a facial expression. It could be a grunt. It could be a moan. It can be a, you know, not saying anything in return. That speaks in volume. Whatever the communication is, they will still, you receive some form of communication. It spoke in volume to you. But you're no longer invoking nightmares. This is not Nightmare on Elm Street for you. You're like, no, you're using wisdom. Some people are now realizing that you are really a sweetheart. You are who they prayed for as a son, daughter, cousin, aunt, uncle, educator, friend, whoever. Because here you are at your highest frequency, but the difference is that you're tossing things into a burning bowl. You're only making room for people who extend you grace, period. That's it. It's like you've extended them grace. The end. So soulmate energy, loading. That's right. That's the good news that's coming across your path. Soulmate energy. Here we have 8 of Wands here. So I feel like somebody may be taking some flights, right? So this is a good thing. You're taking some flights, which is a good thing, right? So there's a tower moment. So somebody's going to be having a tower moment. They're having a rude awakening. They're having a rude awakening. You all are divinely protected. But people who were committed to nitpicking and complaining about every little thing and talking to people about you being a nightmare and you're just this dark entity, Cancer, they're going to have to look at themselves and deal with it. They're going to have to do their own shadow work. It's going to be a very humbling experience for them because you are who they prayed for. You are who they prayed for. And guess what? It will be nothing you can do to stop the tower from falling. Nothing. Absolutely nothing you can do. Nothing. You can be like, oh my God, I can't believe all that stuff is happening. You just gonna have to let it go through its cycle. You can pray for them. As a prayer warrior, you can pray for them. It's not something you would wish on another human being because you don't know what was said about you in private. That is why I teach the way I teach on my channel. If it's not about adjusting crowns, don't say anything negative about people. That's why I read the cards upright and in reverse. If you don't have anything kind to say about people, keep your mouth closed. Don't invoke the nightmare. So you have soulmate energy coming across your path, and I'm talking about true soulmate energy. People who pick up on when you're hurt or when you're happy or when you're hungry, or you're thirsty or you need, like if you're studying something and you need help studying, like a study buddy or study partner or, someone who is, whatever it is you've been praying for, that's the source is sending across your path, right? Whatever it is you've been praying for, whatever you pray for, source is sending across your path. That's going to help you on your journey. And you're leaving people out of your life. You're leaving, this is right here with the 5 of coins. People who just want to come into your life, they have a pick-me spirit. They want to be a part of something so bad, they'll believe a nightmare about anybody before they extend grace. They played themselves. Whoever it is, they played themselves. Just want to be a part of a conversation. Don't care what the conversation is because they don't know that people are putting a dark spell on them. They don't even know what's happening. Too busy having drinks and talking to people. Yeah, this is right here. This was like too busy. I don't even know what I don't drink, so I don't know what these things are called, but whatever. Y'all know I look like they got olives in this, but anyway. So it's whatever. No, that I'm not, and I didn't say that for somebody may have wine every now and then, whatever, but I'm not saying that is any kind of shade or whatever. I really don't know what the name of this is, but there's somebody who overindulges in things, right? So there's no shade there. So let me put that out there into the universe. There's no shade with that at all. What I'm saying is that whoever this energy is, they could be using their time responsibly. Anytime something negative is being said about somebody that they could have been a soul or tribe member for them that they were interested in, right? They could have stopped the conversation. They could have. That could have been a sister-in-law, a mother-in-law. Like, so for instance here, Cancer, let's say let's say you were in a relationship with somebody and they always prayed for a sister-in-law. Like they always said, I wish I had a sister-in-law I could really sit down to. We can go shopping, we did this and that together and so on and so forth. And then bam, here you come. The sister-in-law they've always prayed for. But they heard something negative about. That's how the test comes. They heard something negative about you. They have to be on a frequency. They have to be on a low frequency to entertain gossip. And they start believing that mess. Add another spirit to it, right? Add this spirit to it. And it takes things out of proportion. They start jumping to conclusions, right? Then a total recall. This is Mars, right? Total recall of stuff. They completely lose focus. Remember, Mars is not only the action and assertion planet, it's the sexual energy planet, it's the fighting planet, it's the conflict planet. I mean, like chaos and confusion planet. It's the energy planet. So then they have to, at that point, have to decide where they're going to put their energy. So, okay, you mix low frequency with another spirit. They drinking something, right, which is another spirit. They already on a low frequency. They don't know somebody talking negatively to them about you is putting a spell on them, spelling words. They don't know that this constant hearing the same thing. Well, I heard this about them. I heard that about them. And a bunch of and mm-ums in the conversation, right? All of this going on. So by the time they talk to you, it's dripping in sarcasm. This is the reason why I say when you have a total recall, when a person says, well, I don't really know what my purpose is, I don't know. Pray about it. Ask Source. You're a prayer warrior. Ask Source, why am I here? What's my purpose? So while you're in that very vulnerable state of trying to find out why you're here, why is all this stuff, why are people talking about you so bad? Why they hate you? Why they saying all this stuff about you? Why do people see you such as this dark entity? What is all of this? I can see here in the cards that because you all have a really, really big heart. You all are overgivers, though. That's overgive. You have given people so many chances to hurt you. But that ends. That's ending. You're not invoking nightmares. I said in one of your previous videos, y'all are going to be sending people to therapy and won't even know it. A lot of people want to stop drinking stuff, or they're going to be drinking responsibly. If they drink anything, they'll be like, you know what, okay, that's enough. Because right now my mind's starting to get fuzzy. I don't even want to I want to engage in certain conversations. So here we have the Page of Cups. So that's a good conversation too. I mean, that's a good thing. So yeah. So here's the World card. So something is complete. Something is complete. Something has been fulfilled. So something about your purpose, Cancer, has a whole lot to do with helping people to see the best in others, right? You all are the mother and the money sign of the zodiac, right? So we're not talking about your mother per se. We're talking about when people think about mothers, they think about nurturing spirits. They think about their soul being fed, right? So when you think about your mother or somebody else's mother, before you say, okay, that's such a dark entity, that person, you're going to start thinking about maybe the sacrifices people have made. You start thinking about mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, the fact that, some people could have died bringing people into the world. That's a portal, right? You're going to start praying for people. You're going to stop talking about people. And you could have had the darkest mother on the planet, for real. And I'm not, y'all don't know, I'm not talking about complexion. We're not talking about skin color. You could have had the mother that was like Carrie's mother on the movie Carrie. They're going to laugh at you. That kind of candles lit in the attic, pig's blood. You could have had all that going on, for real. But something about your nurturing spirit, whether it's your mom, somebody else's mom, whatever, whether you talk to your mom has transitioned, whether it's your dad's mom or whoever, is going to really help you deal with a level of compassion towards people, and just say, whether it's a sister friend that is a mom, whether you're a man or woman, your energy is going to change while you're running water. While you all are tossing clothes in the laundry, while you all are running water for dishes, or whatever you're doing, taking a bath, your prayers while you're stirring your coffee or your tea or your hot lemon water or whatever you're doing, you are bringing to you the blessings. The conversations that you're putting out, the energy you're putting out to the universe, is that of positivity and love. That's what you're putting out to the universe. That is going to send out messages into the universe of healing. That is what you're sending out into the universe. That the darkness stops here. You're breaking a cycle. You're breaking a generational cycle, chain, and curse. You're not fighting them. You're fighting against a dark entity. That's what you're fighting against. You're not fighting against flesh and blood. You're fighting against a dark entity. That's what you're fighting against. So pull out your sword. Carefully vet your thoughts. This is the Queen of Swords. Pull out your sword. Carefully vet your thoughts. As the mother of the zodiac, I'm talking to men and women Cancers, or however you identify. Before you make another negative comment about another human being, pray for them. Send out good energy into the universe for them on their behalf. Because that good energy is going to come back to you. People are going to stop taking for granted that you're going to wake up the next day. That's what your week is going to look like. And that's what's going to keep you in peace. Peaceful relationship with yourselves. That's what's going to get your prayers answered. Somebody is going to stop overindulging in drinking. Somebody is going to go into therapy. However, whatever that therapy looks like. I saw this therapist put a video up on Instagram, and they were talking about it was actually a funny video, Cancer, and this guy, he was saying that I can't remember the exact line, but he was basically saying like his therapy has been living in the mountains, in nature, right? So a lot of people are returning to reconnecting with nature as their therapy. They may be seeing a therapist, but they're also, in conjunction with it, they're also doing like nature therapy, like spending more time near water, hugging trees, doing grounding, like just combining those things, having a healthier life. And you see this image of this guy dancing around, like twirling around, because he's feeling healed just being in nature. And so a lot of people, other therapists, were chiming in the comments section and saying the same thing. It's just like they love nature. Some people move to where they live near a beach, and they go to a beach on a regular basis. But that's what this is right here. It shows a crack in the foundation when you return hurt with hurt. So that's what Source is trying to help somebody learn how to do, is stop the hurt. That's part of the generational curse that you're breaking. That's what you're doing. You're stopping the hurt. You're keeping that out of your vault door. That's what you're keeping out of your vault door. So that means everybody who wants access to your vault door, they cannot bring that shade, that hurt, all of that stuff in there. They cannot bring that in there. They cannot bring that in, the gossiping, the, you know, all of that. They cannot come in there with that. Yeah. It's a no judgment zone. That's right, no judgment. That's what it is. It's a no judgment zone. Yep. So that's the curse of somebody's commitment to, so you're not judging them. You're not judging them. That's a cycle that you're breaking. That is a cycle that you're breaking. And this energy, whoever this energy is, they have picked you apart like a piece of chicken. That is why you have, they have studied you. When I say like, it would have been a complete nightmare had you not stopped talking to them. So when you're sitting on your throne, adjusting your crown, like I said, extending them grace, Source is saying you made the best decision that you could have made to stay as far away from them as possible and keep them out of your vault door, because they would have brought nothing but nightmares, pain, and misery into your vault door. So they'll be going through whatever process Source needs them to go through. So, but you have enforced a boundary. You have enforced a boundary. So, and you can defend your decision to move on without coming across as defensive. So that's that. So it's two of them. It's two of them. Whoever these two energies are, they have harshly judged you. They have literally picked you apart. So you've taken your power back. This is the Magician card. You have received the message loud and clear. Yep. Because something about the way they communicate is very disorganized and very confusing to you. It's almost like something coming out of just left field. Like, where'd that come from? Like, you just talking off the side. It's like a person talking out the side of their neck. Like, where'd that come from? Who you talking? They don't even sound like you. Like, is everything okay? So it may not be them drinking. It could be they're just in a different spirit has taken over, because they listen to, it's like a negativity on rotation, like just looped. Right? Listen to the same thing about you over and over and over again. Constantly hearing the same thing, negative, harsh things about you over and over and over again. So it's literally like talking to a person who has had too many drinks and they repeating the same thing over and over and over again. And you're just like, okay, a different spirit has taken over. And they're not strong enough to take their sword out and cut the conversation. So there's something else deeper attached to it. So what's attached to it, what you all can't see, is the dark side of Emperor energy, which is somebody is basically saying it's their way or the highway. So that's the darker side of it. So you had to be the one that says, you're cutting ties. You're sending that spell work right back. Yeah, so this is the most positive card in the deck. And somebody is not waiting for, like you're not waiting for anything. Source is actually rewarding you for moving forward, for taking the high road. Source is actually rewarding you for taking the high road and putting a manhole cover over the past and moving on. Yep, putting a manhole cover over the past and moving forward. So, justice in your favor. Yeah. Yeah. So some of these energies, like I said, may reach out to you and call in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Because again, it would be like I said, I see you just ignoring the call. Because again, they, like I said, working on. They've been hearing so many like looped in conversations about the same negativity because their conscious is getting the best of them at this point. So I see you ignoring the call. Because now the self-doubt has set in, the inner critic has set in. That's why you see the judgment card in reverse. That inner critic has set in. But you've been such an overgiver. Your heart has been so big towards these energies that there is no more doubt at this point. As far as these two types of energies are concerned, you're stopping the nightmare. You're on your throne, carefully vetting your thoughts, and you're keeping the negativity out. So that is what's going to, that's why you're at peace with your relationship with yourself. You're whole and complete. All right. Yeah, good week for you. At the beginning of, like I said, it's a very wealthy year for a lot of people. See, this is the year of wealth, but see, it's not the year of wealth like people were thinking. It's like, oh, everybody gonna hit the lottery. I mean, maybe some people are grateful they didn't hit the lottery because, I mean, for real, with all this madness going on. So when we talk about the transference of wealth, it's not just about money. It's never about just money, right? Transference of wealth of knowledge here. You've gained a lot of knowledge of self in the relationships of energies, family, working, like personal and professional relationships. But you've gained a wealth of knowledge. Like what you didn't know about all the energies tied to you, you've gained a wealth of knowledge about those relationships. So that's what you become wealthier in. So now you're replacing it with, somebody's replacing it with some better memories. Maybe book knowledge, maybe that's going to translate into maybe money for you all. I don't know, whatever your currency is. I think that's it. So you all are going to have a really good week. Really, really, really good week. But yeah, certain calls you're not answering. There's nothing to talk about. You've already talked some things into a burning bone. Because now you're starting to see the cracks in their foundation. Something else is going on. You know now who they're connected with. You just know, like I said, you just know what frequency they're on. So when I say you know who they're connected with, it's not necessarily a particular name. It's you know what frequency they're on, right? So, yeah, so congratulations for soulmate energy coming into your life. And certain energies are starting to see that they were, if they had been operating in purpose, they would have seen that source sent you across their path, that you were a part of their, that you all were a part, they could have been a part of your soul community. They could have been a part of your, soul community, right? And you all could have thrived, but y'all are not on the same frequency. It doesn't make you better or them worse or vice versa. Y'all are just not on the same frequency, and that's it. So yeah, new beginning here. New beginning. Let me see what else we have. So yeah. So you have a new attitude. Yep, see this? You have a whole new attitude. You have the gift of clairaudience. This is clear listening, right? Clear listening. So it's time to open your vault door to your legacy, right? So don't forget that rest is a form of self-care. Some people are in a crisis now, so they met their match. So the curse is now broken. That is how the curse was broken, right? You have the gift of deja vu, remembering the future. So had you continue moving forward, you already knew how the story was going to end. Because it's like you've lived this many lifetimes. Whoever I'm talking to, you lived this many lifetimes. So adjust your crown. Yep. So new love awaits for somebody. You were dealing with shapeshifters. So pour into yourselves more. Yep. So, yeah. But the angel and prophecy of wisdom is with you. Your ancestors have a message. It's time to heal your wounded self. That's your Chiron, Chiron. And for those of you all, there's a link for Chiron below in the description. You do need your time of birth to pull that. But one yes from God was all that you needed. So you made a very positive impact on them, but you're going to have to leave them behind. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. But get some fresh air. Their plan to disrupt your money backfire. So get focused, but don't return their call. Love up on yourselves more. Ask source for clarity. The new one is extra special. Don't give yourselves a headache. So for the new one could be a new love interest. It could be a new mentor. It could be a new mother-like or new father-like figure. It could be a new friend, a soulmate, a member of your soul tribe. So we have many titles here on earth, like many labels, titles, you know. So like the thing that comes to mind, like in the story of like Naomi and Ruth, is like, for instance, Naomi wasn't Ruth's actual birth mother, but she was like a mother to her. So people have many Naomis in their lives. They have women in their lives who are like mothers to them, like nurturing spirits. They're not trying to control them. They're just very nurturing, you know, to them. Whether you're a man, woman, or again, however you identify, there's no judgment whatsoever, you know, none whatsoever. They're just very nurturing spirits. They give you valuable information, you know, valuable information, whether you choose to take it or not. If you are familiar with that story, Naomi gave her an option. She's basically got, I'm going back to my home, and basically you can choose to go or you don't have to. It was never a forced thing. It was never forced. It was just, if you want to, you can, but this is where I'm going. So yeah, so don't give yourselves a headache over it. This is really about choice. People made a choice. And so you're okay with their choice. You really are okay with their choice. So once you made peace with their choice and you close your vault door, it leaves them out. It breaks every spell they were trying to put on you. It breaks every spell. So get your rest. Individuality. Every person has their own personalized study plan in this earth school. Every person. Channeling. Yep. And come off of their channel, like whatever channel they're tuned into. So if they're tuned into a lower frequency, don't go down to that floor, right? Raise yours. That's why I said, even if you left them behind and your thoughts go to a negative memory about them, if you can't find something immediately to speak highly of them, let me go back to the story, a little bit about the story of Naomi and Ruth. Let's say, for instance, because both of those women lost their husbands, right? Death has a way of taking people to the lowest frequency. That's like, it's finite. It's something is over, right? We're in Scorpio season, and that's why this is coming to my spirit, because Scorpio is the death rebirth card. So that story is coming to my spirit for a reason, because Scorpio is a divine feminine sign, right? So that in that they're both of those women grieving, there was 3 women that were key to this, right? So you had Orpah, who was the other daughter-in-law. You had Ruth, and you had Naomi, right? So Naomi lost her husband. Ruth lost her husband. Orpah decided to go back to what she knew, which was her hometown, which was a bunch of chaos and confusion. She made a choice to go back to that, right? Ruth decided to follow her mother-in-law. She decided to follow what she felt like, you know, now she's motivated by someone she felt like, then this was not her birth mother, obviously, in that she found, her Boaz. She found her Boaz, made sure she took care of her, her Naomi. Naomi doesn't have to be a mother-in-law. It could be, but you see the dynamics of it. She could have decided, okay, well, we have no more ties because Naomi's son was no longer alive. We don't have any more ties at this point, right? But she decided because of the bond, the sacredness of the relationship, they decided to move on, like in the same direction. So Source is saying before you return to any relationships has been chaotic and confusing for you, like stay connected to that, because you all are a very nurturing sign and it could contaminate your water, and you're trying to have this continuous flow, like flushing out, detoxing, those kind of things. Source is saying, remember, when Source gives you an assignment and says, okay, I'm assigning this energy to you, this energy to you, this energy, people who understand that will be okay with whenever it's your time to move on. They're sending you off with blessings and not curses. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like cursing you out. Oh, you was never my friend. That's like sending you off with a curse, right? You were always jealous of me. You never had the best intentions. That's sending you off with a curse, right? Instead of sending you off with a blessing. I wish you the best. I really enjoyed my time with you. I really sincerely enjoyed my time with them. I've always seen greatness in you, and I'm sending you off with the best, right? In love. So that's what I'm seeing for you. That is what I'm seeing for you all. So get your rest. Get your rest. You see the number 7. There's two ways of getting this. This is a 16 card, so it's like you're having 7, 7, 7. 4 and 3 is 7, 2 and 5 is 7, 1 and 6 is 7. That's a tower card. So you're having like a triple tower card. So it's 3 energies that are having tower moments, but you are at rest. You are at rest. You are at peace with your decision to move on from these energies. You are at peace. You are at peace. Here we have 20. I am harmonious. That's right. So you would have added peace to their lives, just the energy that you're in, right? But there's somebody who jumped to conclusions. They were committed to saying you were a nightmare, you were all these horrible things, and add that particular spirit to it. The drinking, adding that spirit to it just made things horrible. So whoever was in the midst of this, who now was being used as a pawn, is actually the one that hurts the most, because they were innocent in all of this. So you relate to others on an almost cosmic level. You are dedicated to building harmonious relationships of all kinds, and you have the ability to persuade others to your point of view by using gentle means, number 20. So you definitely add peace to people's lives just by your harmony, and that's why it's dangerous when Source tells you to move on from things, for you to say, this one is hard to move on from this. I don't really know. So it's just like you're going to have to pray, Source, give me the strength to move on from something. Help me to close out this cycle. I know I'm on to the next assignment, right? And so this card was under here, 25. This is another 7. I am intelligent, right? So this is another awakening. You have a great ability to take in and process information on both conscious and subconscious levels. Your curiosity is endless, and your desire to dive deep into a variety of subjects will bring you an immense awareness of the world. So this is not by coincidence. This was like this is the card that was trying to come out before that card there. That's why there's so much air here, because now you're replacing all this. Whoever was thinking the worst about you, now you are replacing this with book knowledge. Like you're reprogramming what was programmed about you into your mind, what was spoken to you about you. Now you're choosing now what to program into your own mind about yourself, that you're smart, you're a sweetheart. And like I said, you are a human lie detectors. You all are highly intuitive. All the things, the negative stuff that people spoke over your life, you are speaking now back over your life in a positive sense. That's what I'm saying for you all. So, like I said, adjust your crown. That's what I have for you, Cancers. I'll see you all in the next video. Make it a fantastic week. You are divinely protected. Like I said, people were, if they showed you that they were committed to believing the worst about you in the past, you got soulmate energy coming across your path. Do not answer their call. The ones who were committed to believing the worst about you, they are in a crisis right now, because now it's like everybody is waking up to the fact that, oh my God, who in the world has Cancer been talking to? Who has been positively influencing Cancer? Who has been showing Cancer the best in themselves? Right? Source. That's it. That's it. That's where the credit goes, to Source. That's it. That's what I have for you. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.